All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in on this last Motivational Thursday of Summer School Session 1. I just want to say I've seen all the students working very hard. I'm very proud of all of you. It's been a pleasure to get to know some of you that I normally wouldn't get to know during the school year. So I just hope that whatever resource that I was able to provide, whether it was Mindful Monday, Motivational Thursday, one of the speakers that you heard, that you gained something during this first summer school session 1. I just want to review a few quotes before we get into our guest speakers. I'm gonna go down to the day. The first quote: tough times don't last, tough people do. And then I was in my Muhammad Ali vibe when I got the quote for this Thursday. So first quote from the great Muhammad Ali: if my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. And then the next quote that I really, really love, he stated, I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. So once again, it's about putting in those positive thoughts, that positive mindset, and going into each day with, look, I can do this. I am great. And no matter what anyone else says about me, I know I am great. And he had to pump himself up that way and say it to himself before anybody else said it to him, or before he was acknowledged as the greatest. He said, I'm the greatest. And he made that part of his plan, his destination to be the greatest. And so this morning we have the wonderful, wonderful Liz Lyles. She is the creator and owner of Daughters of Worth. So we're able to have Glam Girls through Liz Lyles in Pitt County Schools, empowering females and just empowering students overall. Liz does a lot in the community. She's just an awesome person. I've seen her. A lot of things that she does for students, she don't even really broadcast a lot, but a lot of it just kind of like behind the scenes. And she works hard. She has the heart of gold. She really, really cares about students and cares about the community. And I just felt with this last session of Motivational Thursday for Summer School Session 1, I couldn't think of a better person to close with. She was just on my heart to just have her speak to you all. So I called her and she said, sure, yeah, I do. I know she's busy. She has a lot going on, but she did volunteer her time this morning to just give a last motivational word to you guys and just to push you on through. So without further ado, the wonderful, awesome Liz Lyles.
Good morning. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. And I want to start my day off like this every day. I love the music and all the quotes. And I think that Zelina has already been all up in my session before we even got here with the quotes, because you're going to hear some of this repeated this morning. I don't know if it's possible for interaction today. So if you are able, I'm not certain if you are logged in on your own device, if it's possible to turn your camera on. If you want to be involved or active, you don't have to, but that is an option. So today we're going to be talking about what I believe is so important, and we talk about this a lot through Daughters of Worth, is how do we create the tomorrow of our dreams? How do we create the future that we want and envision for ourselves? Because I think a lot of times we have this idea, or we have something that we would like to see happen in our lives, but we're not quite sure of how to go from this point to this point. So this morning, I'm going to have a chance to kind of go through a couple of different principles that we talk about through Daughters of Worth, but really applies to anybody and everybody, and you're going to get a little bit of my story in this piece as well. So the first part of this I want to go into is that we call it the CEO project. It's probably one of my favorite things that we do, and I've had the opportunity to present this to to probably hundreds of youth throughout the last couple of years. So if you're in a position that you have a piece of paper, or you can even use your phone, or just some place that you can just, this is just for you. I want you to do a few things. I want you to think, if I have the opportunity right now today, I was going to create a business, I was going to create an organization, or whatever that thing is that you wanted to create. You're going to become an entrepreneur today. I want you to think about what that business would be. And with that business, many times we have either a board of directors, or we have trustees, or we have different people who come alongside of us, those business partners who help us in making decisions. And those people, are going to be helping you decide how you want your business to operate. They are going to be deciding how the finances are being spent. They're going to have oversight of that piece. They're going to help just sort of structure how that whole place is going to operate. So I want you to think about who, if you right now in this exact moment with your business in mind that you have, who are the 5 people that you know today that you tangibly, physically know, family, friends? Who are those people that you would want to have as part of that board, or part of that team, or part of that um, of that core operational, that core group that would help you succeed? So I want you to take just a few minutes. And I can't see your faces, so I have no idea if y'all are able, if this is even workable, but we're going to pretend like it is since I can't see you. And if not, then you can just kind of keep this in your head and do this at a later time. But I want you to think about who those 5 people would be. And I want you to think about what are the qualities and characteristics of those people that you would entrust for this business, for this organization, for this operation. Like, what are those key qualities and factors that made you choose these specific people? Once you have those 5 people written down, I then want you to look at those 5 people. And honestly, this is something that you do on your own. I want you to think through, are these the 5 people who are speaking into my life? Are these the 5 people that I am hanging around with the most? Is your best friend the person or persons that you spend the most time, the ones that you call when all the things are going down? The people that you're texting, the people that when you're down, the people that when you're frustrated, who are those people that you're connecting with? And are these the same people that you would have overseeing the finances and the decisions and the security of your organization? Are they the same people? And typically what I find is that when we do this, and usually it's a 30-minute session where we actually go through and we do this face to face and we talk about the qualities and we talk about the characteristics, I would say 95% of the time, the youth that I have worked with, like, Miss Liz, girl, no, my best friend's not on that list. Sometimes she lies. Sometimes he, he might steal from other people. Like, he's my best friend. He wouldn't do that to me, but no, I couldn't put him on that. Sometimes those conversations come up. And the question that we have is, if we are having these people invest into our lives, and they are the ones who are pouring into us, and we would not allow those people to sit on the board of a pretend organization, then why are we giving them the front seat of our lives? Because the reality and the truth is, right now, here today, while you may not have a business today, while you may not be an entrepreneur today, you are the CEO of your life today, which means that the decisions that you are making and the people that you are surrounding yourself with are influencing the future and your present by the people that you are selecting to put in that position. So I really want you to think about, who are those core people that I'm coming to for advice? Who are those core people that I am relying on when all the stuff goes down? Who are the core people that I am entrusting with decisions that are impacting my future? And if those people that you're allowing to speak into your life and to lead you in a direction are not going in the direction that you want your future to go, I really want you to take some time to think about that, because the reality is those people that we have in our lives are driving a car. And if the people in that car are going to Maine, and I don't want to go to Maine because it's cold there, and I'm like, oh, it's okay to visit, but I like Florida. I want to go where there's sunshine and water and it's all pretty. If they're going to Maine and I don't get out of that car, I'm not going to end up in Florida. We have to be intentional with the people that we are allowing to pour into our lives. And that doesn't mean that we're harsh, doesn't mean that we're rude, it doesn't mean that we're breaking those relationships altogether. It just means that we're being selective about the people that we allow to take us and to pour into our futures. The second part I want to give you today is we have to silence the naysayers. So let me tell you a little bit about me that y'all would not know. I am currently a grad student. I'm at ECU pursuing my master's in social work. I hold an executive certificate in nonprofit leadership through Duke University. I currently have a 3.9 GPA. I'm not saying that to hold myself on a platform. I'm telling you this for one reason, and only a few people know this. When I was a junior in high school, my grades were not good. I struggled. I struggled horribly in math. Y'all don't put me in a math classroom today. I will cry. I would rather eat dust lint than have to do math. That's just, honest. So, and my dad was a math teacher. So I was raised by a coach and athletic director, and he was a teacher. My mom worked for the Board of Education. So I was raised in education. And I struggled academically so hard. One day, my guidance counselor came to me out of the blue and pulled me out of my classroom. I'll never forget it as long as I live. And he, for no reason, there was no meeting, and he just said, I need to come in to speak with you, and can you come to my office? And that day in 11th grade, I was told, I've been watching your grades, and I see how much you're struggling, and I want you to know that you're really not college material. I really would encourage you to just go find a job out of high school, or, at best, maybe just go to a tech school, but you really don't have what it takes to be a good student. So I just want to go ahead and kind of put that out there. I was so embarrassed. And I remember leaving his office in just tears and shame. And I was too embarrassed to even tell my parents, because they didn't even know this conversation had gone down until just a couple of years ago. And I finally, or probably 10 years ago, and I shared this with them. But the reality is I allowed that person to speak into my life something that was not true. And I did poorly. So I just kind of gave up. I ended up going and working at Applebee's. I was working 14 hours a day. I was at this point ended up a teen mom. I was 19. I was pregnant. Also was married. Got married at a very young age. Whole long story. But anyways, ended up working very long shifts. And there was one evening where I left my job, and I had worked for 2 weeks every single day, 12 to 15-hour days, and I had very little money, and I was trying to put gas in my car. And I remember being at the gas pump and just crying and thinking, it has got to be better than this. And something inside of me that night was like, what if he was wrong? What if he was wrong? We're talking 5 years down the road or 3 years down the road, but what if he was wrong? What if I am college material? What if I am made for more than what this one person who had never had any conversation with me, who had only looked at my grades, who had only looked at the places that I struggled, but who did not take the time to get to know me? What if he was wrong? I left work that day. I left the gas pump. I went back and I made a decision that day that I was going to go back to school. And I began calling my community college. Y'all, it took me 7 years to get my degree. I have 3 boys, and I started after my son was born. He was 4 months old. I literally had my child on a Saturday and walked across the stage on Monday. And then I went to Fayetteville State University. So it took me 7 years to get my degree. But why am I sharing that with you? Because sometimes people come into our lives and they speak things that are not true. They speak things about you and what your performance is and what your abilities are and what your talents are and what your skills are, and they're not true. And the reality is that we have to know the power that lives inside of us and that you do have the power to succeed. Let me go ahead and tell y'all that when I graduated from Fayetteville State University with 3 children, and with honor cords wrapped around my neck, don't you think for a second that I did not go back and invite that same counselor to that graduation? And I sent him a note and said, I don't know if you remember me, but I was the girl that years ago you said was not college material. Today, I'm walking across the stage with honors cords, with a degree from Fayetteville State University. I pray that you're not going to speak these untruths to other people in your future. And I certainly intend to send him a graduation or at least an announcement when I'm walking across the stage from Fayetteville State, from ECU with my master's degree. So silence the naysayers. If you have people who are in your life who are speaking negativity, shut it down. Doesn't mean that you have to be rude about it. You don't have to be harsh about it, but you do have the power to accept and receive what is helpful for you and profitable for you, and to silence. There's going to always be haters. Y'all, I got a whole slew of them. I promise you, because anybody who knows me in this community knows that I have a voice, and I use my voice. And sometimes that brings haters. That's okay. I don't need for everybody to like me. I don't need for everybody to agree with me. What at the end of the day, I have to be confident in who I am and know that I'm standing in my core values, and that I'm doing the best that I can in the way that I can to best live my life with value and virtue and character, and to serve my community well. So shut it down. And that also means that sometimes we have to shut down the negative things we tell ourselves. That's the hard part, because a lot of times we have adopted ideas and mindsets that have come from other people. Sometimes I'm adopted. That's part of my story. I was given up for adoption. I've never seen my birth daddy. I would not know what he looks like if I passed him on the side of the street. I've got a whole story, y'all. I was the product of an affair. Okay. So I was given up and put into the foster care system, and then I was adopted. Got a whole story there. There were times, because I did not know my backstory, it got into the way of my identity, and I questioned who I was. We have to begin speaking truth and power statements over our lives every single day. That means I don't care who is telling you what, but you get up every single day and you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I am capable, I am beautiful, I am qualified, I do have what it takes, I am intelligent, I can do this. And you have to pour that into yourself, because I'm going to tell you, if you're waiting for other people to pour that into you, you may be waiting for a very long time and it may not come. We have to know who we are and speak those words over ourselves. The next part of this, I'm going to talk fast so we can get through in 30 minutes. The next part of this is we have to know the direction that we're going. And we have to be intentional about the decisions that we make to get there. So you're going to find that as we're looking at our tribe, right, we're looking at those people, those core value people who are pouring into our lives, and we're making decisions about that. We're having to silence the naysayers, which means that sometimes those people in that core circle we had, we're having to step away from that in some ways so that we can begin to pour in the positivity. And then we have to have a clear direction. If y'all see behind me, I don't know if y'all can see that. Y'all, that's my vision board. It's a vision board. And on my vision board, it says we will hire a director of girl empowerment. We will launch a safe home. We will transform Daughters of Worth into a trauma-informed mental health provider, girl empowerment nonprofit organization. I will launch my course for profit. Okay, so I have written my vision because statistics show us that when you write your vision, you are, I believe it's 47% more likely to actually achieve your goals when you write it down. I can tell you I have used this practice for years and it works because every single day that I come into my office and I'm here to work, I look at what we are going to do. I can tell you that and I wrote this January 1. It's been sitting here since January 1. Since January 1, we are closer to creating a safe home than we've ever been. We are in the second step of that. We are in the process of, we have not hired, but we have had a volunteer step up into the director of girl empowerment position who's going to do that in a volunteer capacity, and she's being trained for that. I can tell you that we now have a Dr. Sarah Helms, a clinical psychologist, now on our staff. The reason that I'm saying those things, it would not have happened if I was not intentional about my vision and where I know that we need to go as an organization and the steps that I need to take in order to drive us there. So as the CEO of your life, you need to know what direction you're going. And that may mean something as simple as, I'm going to graduate from high school. I am going to bring up my GPA by this. I am going to excel in this class. I am going to get tutoring. I am going to ask for help. I am going to make it plain. What is that thing that you need to do? And then your daily decisions drive that direction. You're not going to go from here to here in a day. You're not going to go from here to here sometimes in 3 months. It is the course of everyday actions that you're taking. And when you're making the decisions for your life, are my decisions today hindering me from my goal, or is it helping me towards my goal? Is this decision that I'm doing today going to help me today and help me in the future? Or is it going to harm me? Is this decision going to help somebody? Or is it going to hurt somebody? And we have to be thoughtful and take accountability. And y'all, we're not going to get it perfect. I can tell you all the mistakes I've made. I make them all the time. But here's what defines those who are successful from those who are not. We all mess up. There's not a single person you're going to encounter who's not messed up. But when you do mess up, you take accountability and responsibility and go, man, that was a really dumb decision. I shouldn't have done that. Did not help me in my goals. So now what do I need to do to get myself back on track? The last part in the last 2 minutes I want to add is be willing to ask for help. And I think this is where we often get stuck, y'all, because we think we are in this whole thing by ourselves, and we're not. You are surrounded by a community who is rising up to help you. It is the reason we're here. The reason we do the work that we do is to help you be successful. If you come through life and you feel like you're in this journey by yourself, then we have failed you, because we have not made ourselves known in a way to show you we're standing with you, we're advocating for you, and we are here to help you be successful in your journey. Whether that is, look, I'm hungry, I don't have food to eat, I'm not safe, someone is hurting me, I don't have shelter, I need a space to live, I need to know how to do this job application, I need to work. Or I'm struggling in a class and I don't know how to get over this. you have got a whole group of people who are here. Reach out to your administration. I can tell you that they are fabulous. Reach out to your counselors. I can tell you that she's fabulous. I cannot tell you how many times this woman calls me on weekends, and just she's her heart. She's not here Monday through Friday, y'all. This woman, I love her. She is for real. She's the real deal. She is in this to make certain that you're successful. There are organizations like ours and so many others who are here to help you be successful. If you don't know who the people are who can help you, reach out, connect, be willing to ask for help. And finally, and last, what I also would encourage and always encourage everybody to do is to get involved and serve. Because no matter where you're at and struggling with, there is always somebody on the other side who's going through something else as well. And it brings a different perspective when you're willing to get invested in your community. So I hope today that you've been empowered to know that you are right now, today, the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of your life, and you decide the future that you get to go. Your decisions, the people that you surround yourself with, the thoughts that you are meditating on, the things that are being poured into you, what you choose to accept or reject, and you have the choice to accept or reject, right? Those thoughts that are coming in from yourself and from other people, and being willing to go and to serve in that capacity and to make decisions that are going to help your life, not hinder your life. And when you get stuck, knowing that you have a whole community who is here to help you be successful in your journey.
Woo, woo. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Be the CEO of your life. And I took a few notes, and briefly, I just wanted to share negative thoughts. Like I said before, that opening quote with Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest. I said it even before I knew I was. So like Liz said, keep pouring into yourself. We all have sometimes get those negative thoughts, but we got to replace them with positive thoughts, with a positive mindset. Also, Liz, I like the fact that you brought up the point about those positive affirmations, having that manifestation of what you want. And I can attest, personally, I have written down things I wanted, goals I had for myself. I wrote it down, and I'm telling you, to this day, it came true. It came to pass. So you have to have that that positive affirmation and mindset, and writing down your goals, your vision for yourself, and what you want for your future. And also, another thing you also brought up in regards to we got haters, but people know who they come in to just tell you negative things about yourself, because they see you trying to do great things. They see you trying to move up, and sometimes you know you're around others. They see, okay, oh, well, who they think are they trying to make good grades now? They're trying to do this now. So you have to get your circle right. The circle plays a major part in your life. Be around people who are trying to uplift you, not bring you down. Uplift you and not bring you down. So that, I loved it, Liz. I love those points that you made. I thank you for taking the time out to just to come and try and motivate. You did it was awesome. I do have this recorded, so I will also share this recording with all of you, and also post it on our social media. Just a few closing notes. I will send out a really brief survey to everyone, just a few questions, just asking you, how do you feel about our SEL activities we did through the summer? Is this something you might want during the school year? So I definitely just want that feedback from staff and from students as well, just letting me know how you feel about everything. And Liz, when the book coming out, you getting a book? Like, we need a book, Liz.
I actually have a book that is Broken and Beautiful, and how it is a faith-based book. But the next thing that I'm looking to is how do we bring leaders into doing this work, and for people to rise up to meet the needs of their communities. So
say the book again, Liz. Can you say the book again?
It's Broken and Beautiful. Is the name of the book. It's on Amazon. I'll send you the link.
Okay, awesome. So I'll include that link. Well, thank you so much. This is the last day of our summer school session 1. So I'm wishing everyone the best. And once again, like I said, this will be recorded and I'll send it out. So have an amazing day, everyone. And thank you again, Liz.
Thank you for the opportunity. Y'all have an amazing day and week.
Thank you.